Hi, I'm Stephanie Olson, and you are about to watch or listen to the podcast that was done with Dylan Yeomans and myself from United Insurance Agencies. I had a great time recording this. I hope you enjoy it.
And welcome back to the UIA Trusted Partners Podcast. On today's show, I have a very special guest. I have Stephanie Olson, the Executive Director for the Set Me Free Project.
Yay!
Stephanie, how are we doing today?
Hey, I'm great. Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it.
I'm happy to have you on because the last time the Set Me Free Project was on, we had Kelly and we had Raina Garcia with then Restored Wings, now Lily Haven. So I'm finally excited to get you in the seat and get everything from the executive director
I'm in
stand.
the seat.
You're in the seat now.
Okay,
You're on the show.
Here we go.
Yeah. So, real quick, just to get things going here for us listeners and viewers at home, can you give us a little bit of insight as to what the Set Me Free Project is and how long you've been servicing the Omaha area?
Yeah. So we've
beyond.
And beyond.
Yeah, and beyond.
So we've been around about 11 years. We started because there were a lot of really good things happening in the counter-trafficking movement in Nebraska, but no one was talking to the targets, so to speak, youth, young adults, the people that serve them, and that's really how we began. I am personally a survivor of sexual and domestic violence and had been working with women for years in that area and addiction and speaking. And one of my coworkers at the time said, "Hey, let's help sex trafficked victims." That's a quote. And really having no idea what that really meant, we started to research that. What does that look like? What should we be looking for? And it just opened up a whole new can of worms for us. Yeah,
and we're going to be diving into some of what the Set Me Free Project offers for a lot of people and individuals and businesses alike out there. So I think you kind of answered this one a little bit already, but I'm a little curious where you found that calling or drive, but it kind of sounds like it's a personal matter for you.
Yeah, I always say I came into this work kicking and screaming, actually. I'm not sure I had a calling for this per se, but definitely for youth and for women. And I had also been working with youth in the area of healthy relationships in the schools, middle and high schoolers. And I think for me, it was just really seeing that so many people didn't recognize, and this is the foundation of everything we teach, that you have an intrinsic value that can't be changed. And I think that was the calling. That was my passion, that people learned that they have worth, they have dignity. And so many people don't see that in themselves.
Yeah, it really is one of those things. It's almost poetic because some of the brightest bulbs can never see themselves shine, and it's just crazy how they think that way.
So true.
That's where all of us come in and try to help reinforce some of that.
That's right.
I do love that. Now, I love to kind of dive in and start here with your Ready to Stand curriculum. What is it, and why should every person in business actually just participate in this program?
Okay, so READY is an acronym.
Yes.
So you're going to test me a little bit.
I know, I'm going to test you a little, but if it's okay, we have the link to the website so you can read along.
Excellent, that's perfect.
Yes.
So I'll talk about the curriculum itself first, and then I'll talk about the acronym, which I did not create, because acronyms are not my bag.
They're not me either.
Oh my gosh, I'm so bad at them. So, but we started the curriculum. We were the ones going into schools. And we were the ones presenting to youth, adults of all kinds, educators, parents, caregivers. The curriculum was in here, right in my
Got it all rehearsed.
head. Yes, and I had little outlines, and that's it. And then I would train people to do that. And as we grew, we realized we actually need to get this on paper. It's probably a wise thing. And so we had hired an amazing educator. She was from the education world.
Great.
So she had a bachelor's and a master's in education with a emphasis in curriculum development.
Fantastic.
And so, yeah, she has been with us, one of our OGs, but she really helped kind of put it down, and then we've grown since then. But the curriculum is now K through 12 for youth. So we have curriculum that elementary, we're not talking about human trafficking, but consent and empathy and responsibility and social media safety and trustworthy person and all of that. And then once middle school hits, we start having the conversation about human trafficking, sex labor, forced criminalization, but also healthy relationships and social media safety. And we do that really also college age. But then we have curriculum for adults of every facet of the community. And so if you're in banking, if you're in education, if you're in whatever, everyone sees it.
Right.
And so literally there's not a business that couldn't benefit from what we train on. And once COVID hit, we stopped going into the schools, obviously, and we became very digital. When we went back, we realized schools were different, youth were different, teachers were leaving. And so that's when we thought we really need to get this into the hands of the people who work with youth. There's social workers, counselors, agencies that do this work. And we took a year off and just revamped our curriculum and packaged it to get in the hands of those people, and that's what we've been doing ever since.
I think it's so smart to kind of take that reassessment and reanalysis of it, because again, you're absolutely on the money. Everything changed after COVID.
Everything changed. Yeah.
I always see the jokes online of how we had it all with 24-hour Walmart and 24-hour Taco Bell. And
what happened?
What happened?
Yeah.
But no, I also want to just point out the fact that whether it's K through 12, whether it's going for a business or just personal growth yourselves, this is a program you should definitely look into.
Yeah.
Again, link down in the comments below or in the description below. So as we're talking, you can have this up in front of you and kind of looking at it as we're going through it.
That's perfect.
But yeah, another great thing on your website here on the Set Me Free project is the curriculum and videos that you have on your website, which I wanted to kind of point out for our viewers here, since there's one about grooming and social media, which you were just touching on.
Yeah.
How much impact does social media have on the human trafficking world, both negative and positive?
That's such a great question, because, and here's the thing, I will never be one to say get offline, social media is bad. It's not a realism. It's not going away.
Yeah.
It's not going away. And so it's our job to help people safely navigate it.
Yep.
Social media and gaming both are absolutely a huge way that traffickers find and lure the individuals they traffic. And I think it's important to maybe define it really quick and then go back. But I would define human trafficking as the use of force, fraud, and coercion to compel an individual to provide services, labor, or commercial sex acts. That force, fraud, and coercion piece is really important for adults particularly, because you need to prove one of those for a conviction. For minors, does not need to be proven for sex trafficking. Any commercial sex is considered sex trafficking. For labor trafficking, also for minors, it needs to be proven. But I think that we often have this mindset of kidnapping.
Yeah. I think that's kind of the default, right? It's like they get abducted, then it all transpires, but that's not the case.
No, it's not. And it's sensational, it's exciting, it's all that stuff.
It's Hollywood.
It's
right?
Hollywood.
It's Hollywoodized.
It is. But the reality is that the majority of trafficking happens through that fraud and coercion piece. And so I'm building a relationship with you. And what a better place to do it than on social media and gaming.
Yep, we're playing our favorite games together.
Absolutely.
How coincidental,
Absolutely. And again, it's not about I'm going to find out all the things so I can come kidnap you in my white van. It's that I'm just going to build this relationship. And that's the grooming process. And that can take years.
Yeah.
It can take less than, but it can also take years.
I think maybe our viewers also kind of try to put it into their brain a little bit. It's a heavy manipulation tactic.
Yes.
It's just like a puppeteer pulling the strings, just one at a time, and it's very intentional.
I love that you said that, because it is very intentional. And one of the things that I think is important to remember, in fact, I had a young high school gal say this to me, and I couldn't say it better. If someone is good at manipulating you, you do not know you're being manipulated.
Nope.
And I think that with trafficking, I hear a lot, I would never fall for that, or that would never happen to me. And you've heard the same thing,
Oh, yeah.
scams or
Absolutely.
all of those things. Traffickers go after the vulnerable.
Yeah.
And we're all vulnerable to something, right? And that doesn't necessarily mean it's a weakness.
Nope.
But it could just be, my age, or, for example, we all have a prefrontal cortex. That is our decision maker. Okay.
Sometimes I
Now,
question if mine's there.
I know. And when is that fully developed? Do you know?
26?
Yeah, it's like 25, 26 for women.
And then it's like
50 for men.
Really?
Oh, I'm kidding.
Oh, I was like, really? I knew we were kids at heart, but really? I was like, man.
No, it's like 25-ish for all of us.
Gotcha.
But with social media, it's actually getting later, like 30.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is changing for all of us. And so even with that prefrontal cortex not being fully developed, it does not mean that we can't make decisions.
Right.
Just means that we don't have the ability maybe to look around the corners.
Sure.
And that's what traffickers count on.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not a weakness. That's just your whatever age you are.
Yeah.
And that could be a vulnerability.
No, I get that. And I think a lot of times, again, just to kind of keep this in people's minds of the manipulation that can go on in this, think about if, you play with a game consistently with somebody that's doing this.
Right.
We all have family members. We all have funerals in our lives. Yeah. Grief is one of the easiest targets.
Oh. Wow.
And I think a lot of people kind of maybe avoid that topic because grief is a heavy topic.
Yes.
But I think that's a really strong point to kind of make, especially when your kids are processing, because let's face it, when kid loses grandma or grandpa or somebody even closer than that, what's the one thing they all do? They kind of want to recluse and go to what they love and what they know. Games. Whatever they enjoy, that kind of thing, those fascinations. So just a little point out for our viewing audience.
That's a brilliant point. And I would add to that, so many of us do tend to isolate during that time. But also, if you've got maybe a death in the family and mom and dad are isolating as well, where do the kiddos go? And, you know, there's no blame, there's no fault, but it's just realities to think about, and how do we prevent some of those things to, take advantage of our families.
Yeah, and just to help keep our families safe in the process there. So I know it's a heavy topic on today's show, but I mean, it's a very serious topic in today's world, and especially when we all have the access to help do our part. So I think it's a very important episode today, and very important we touch on all these heavy topics.
I agree.
Now, we have a couple different things on your online courses that I kind of wanted to touch on here. Human trafficking and prevention and response. It's an online course. How do I get signed up for these, and when's the best time to do so?
That's a great question. So, yes, we have a few opportunities. We definitely do train in person, and we can train via webinar, but we created an online course so that people could learn about this at their own pace.
I love that.
In their home. And we also do have those for businesses for onboarding your staff, and we have financial, hotel, motel, and we're creating literally in every single industry, we are going to have online courses for individuals.
I love that. And it just goes to show, as somebody on the outside of this organization, as soon as you said hotel, motel, had not even dawned on me at that point. But that has got to be a hot spot.
Definitely a place where active trafficking is happening, and a place where you can, if you're working in those areas, you're going to see a lot of things that you can actually intervene and help somebody. And at the same time, recognizing there are people in those industries that are complicit to that.
Right.
And so in our city here in Omaha, we just had a major bust on that. And there were I believe, 5 hotels that were
Wow.
involved, and also a brow and lash place in one of our malls. And there were 10 minors and I believe 7 adults that were recovered out of those
Wow.
situations.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Again, the seriousness of the topic, it happens in our back door. We
Yes.
hear it every year, especially around College World Series time. That's a localized, popularized, I think, topic to kind of
We
gravitate
hear about
towards.
it a lot during that time.
Right,
Yes.
because
Yeah.
it's just such a hub for so many different places and people coming in.
Right. And the interesting thing about the College World Series, we actually do a conversation every year
That's amazing.
around the,
Yeah.
the College World Series. There's really no empirical data that trafficking increases during
Which is
that
great.
event, which is good,
That's
right?
good.
Now, here's what I would say. Anytime you have power and money, trafficking will occur. And although it's not the luring that would ever happen in those events, but the selling,
Right.
it is important to remember College World Series is more of a family event, and so you're going to see less of it
Right.
than you might others. But I think because it is such a hot topic during those times,
Right.
we will take advantage of any opportunity to educate people.
Which I think is perfectly fair to do.
Yeah.
And I think if people are going to be paying attention to the College World Series
Yeah.
so heavily,
Yeah.
and that's going to be a part of it, great. Help us bring that number back down.
Right.
Because again, great to hear that it doesn't increase, by the way. That was
doesn't.
one of my concerns was like,
Yeah.
it doesn't
There's no
marginally
evidence.
just jump.
Yeah.
You know,
They used to say it increased 42% when the College World Series was around. That has not been proven at all. But I will never be one to say it does not happen at all.
Right.
I would never want anyone to think that it never happens
Right.
during that time. And I also would never be so arrogant to say it's not happening.
Yeah.
We know it is everywhere.
that's absolutely true. Now, in that same kind of conversation, I had seen these on your website. I kind of wanted to go through these and see what they are. What's the human trafficking toolkit, and how do people get access to these?
Yeah, great question. So, and I didn't answer your one before about the online course, actually.
Apologies.
So, no, I will do that. So, and both of these are found, all of this is found on
Right in
our
the link below.
website. Yes, in the link below. And please, check it out. If you have questions, let us know. But the online course you can purchase, it's like $20.
yeah.
And it is actually fun. I took it, I didn't create it.
Sure.
We have amazing staff who does incredible things. And I took it knowing all the answers, right? But I had so much fun because it's interactive. It's not,
that.
you're not just watching a video. You actually, it's kind of gamified. And so you get to play with it.
That's fun.
And at your own pace, just at your own pace. So that's how you find that. But the toolkit is really something that several things. If you want to share some social media posts on human trafficking, we have those to just download and share. If you want to have posters for your school or for whatever,
Cool.
we've got those available. And then we also have videos that you can freely share that talk about all of those things: sex trafficking, labor trafficking, and what it is, what it's not. We talk about familial trafficking, which is mom and dad's, grandmas and grandpas are the traffickers. And so these are all little short videos, maybe 2 minutes long, that you can use freely. So
I love that because it's just the power of free knowledge, and knowledge is power. So
absolutely.
yeah, I love that, and I love that is part of what the Set Me Free Project helps stand for.
Yeah.
To back up for just a moment on getting some of those the programs that you can download at home and you can go at your own pace, how, I guess, would it be recommended that a family kind of goes through that together, or is there a certain level maybe you would recommend for a family to kind of encompass together, so maybe it's easier for the parents to present?
So glad you mentioned that. It's like you can read my mind. Get out of there.
I've interviewed a couple times.
It's terrifying in there. Yes, no. Actually, yes. So you can absolutely utilize just the HT 101 for knowledge and things like that. You can talk about it as a family. There's nothing in there that's going to probably traumatize a youth. But we are going to be launching a parent caregiver online course. Yeah, specifically on how to talk to your kiddos about human trafficking and social media. And we're writing a book that will coincide with that. So I know.
I need my applause button.
I know.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
For the viewers at home, I had no knowledge to that,
That
at
was
all.
not
actually.
a setup. That was not a setup. So we're really excited
awesome.
about that. We're looking to really kind of do all that launch in the fall.
Love that.
But I think that the key is the human trafficking 101 is very much just generalized, but this will be really for parents and caregivers and how you talk to your youth about it. And there's just so much opportunity there.
I love that. I had no idea.
Yeah.
And I love having groundbreaking news on this.
I love that.
Yeah, that is awesome. And I'm really excited that it just keeps evolving and it keeps growing until it's gone. Until human trafficking is gone.
Well, and I will say, I think that's a good point. You know, a lot of the things I see out there, and people ask, what makes your curriculum better than anybody else's? Well, I will tell you.
I mean, it's pretty good, but I don't know if anybody competes.
But one of the things I see out there is that there's like maybe something they're offering, one size fits all, and it doesn't change. Because it's in a book, it's in a whatever. Our curriculum, we have 30 plus pieces for youth and adults. And we update it regularly. And so we're constantly looking at the trends, we're researching and trying to figure out, okay, what do we need? Is this working? Is this not working? All of our videos are made by us so that we can avoid stereotypes and then we can really get, okay, this is an actual story that's happening in your community. You know, how can we talk about that? So we really do have not only the most extensive curriculum out there, but we also update it regularly. And after we have a couple more years with a grant from the CDC, but we will have one of the first youth human trafficking curriculum to be evidence-based in the nation.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's a monumental.
That's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge.
That is phenomenal. So
thank
big
you.
congratulations to everybody with the Set Me Free project. That's fantastic.
Whole bunch of work.
Yeah.
Whole bunch of work. We're working
Mountains
with
of work.
University of Michigan, University of Nebraska, and the CDC, and it's really exciting.
Big congratulations. That's super, super cool.
Thank you.
I love it. So we'll get back on task here now that we've
just
broken
throwing all these things. I'm throwing out all these things.
Broke all this news here. I'm going to have local news stories clipping my episode here. But no, I love that. Thank you for sharing all that with us because amazing news. I love hearing that everything's just still growing. I love it. Of course, can't let it slide as well as growing you and keeping updated on all relevant things possible. You have a podcast.
Oh, yes.
R&R, aka Resilience in Relationships, real talk for real life. Besides the website for the Set Me Free project, where else can we tune in and find these lovely episodes? And what do you cover on the show?
Okay, great question. Well, any place that you can find podcasts, you will be able to find our podcast. And Rebecca and I are the hosts. Rebecca is our director of programming, and we just have fun. It's really just an opportunity for us to chat about things that we love to chat about. And we talk about human trafficking and what that looks like, but we don't really stop there. We talk about social media. We just did one on family vlogging, and is that safe? Sharenting, what does that look like? Addiction, all of the things. And so we are always open to conversation. So we'd love to hear, like, what do people want to know and learn about? But yeah, we have fun.
Yeah, I love it, and I encourage viewers to check it out as well. Great episodes, whether it's kind of lighthearted and having some fun, or some of the more serious topics that you guys kind of cover. It's very informative and very fun to be a part of it. So yeah, of course. Now, every nonprofit, of course, one of the big things that helps it keep going is donations, contributions, things like that, volunteers.
What is this?
Never heard of that, right? So I want to know, what can we donate? How can we donate?
Yeah.
And when is the best time to do so? Should I wait for a big event?
Great question. No, today,
Thank you.
right now.
Thank you.
Yes. No, there's a lot of things people can do to help in this area. And one of them is volunteering.
Absolutely.
I think that's fabulous. And there's a lot of different great organizations, depending on what your wheelhouse is, that you can volunteer for. We love volunteers. I think a lot of times people think, oh, I don't want to just write a check.
Yeah.
But what I would say is that, donations, financial donations are so important to the work we do.
Yeah.
And I don't ever want anyone to feel like they're not doing enough if all they're doing is giving, because that is massive.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Every dollar always counts.
Every dollar makes a huge difference. Yeah,
I love that. And no, don't wait for the special events.
Don't wait for the event.
You can donate right now, even on the website that you're already looking at, because we're talking about it.
That's so true.
Now, social media viewers, of course, go on out and follow this Set Me Free project. Where can we find you on social media?
Yes, we are on Facebook. We are on X. I almost said Twitter. We're on X. We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, and YouTube. And so we are on all the socials. We're on LinkedIn. Yeah, we would love for you to go and check us out. And that's also on our website. Yeah. So our little social links. But we're very active in all those places. And so,
yeah, you guys are very engaged with your audience as well, which is really fun to see.
We try.
Yeah, it's one of those that I think with what the Set Me Free project does and how you do it, I think really echoes and resonates with the community around. I think it really does.
Well, and I think the beauty of it for me personally is I've been able to see this organization grow and grow nationally, which is very exciting.
Yeah.
But my staff is amazing. And I could not do, I have to kudos to them, because I could not do half the stuff, most of the stuff without my amazing team. And they are really the backbone of the entire organization.
Yeah, I think when you were hosting the Omaha Empower Breakfast, you had kind of dove into how you needed to be basically told to stand down, stop helping, you're not, and kind of just have that trust be built.
You do. So many, and I think it's a CEO founder thing. I think founders have a really hard time letting go.
It's like a baby.
It is. And, you think about like the baby bird. If you don't throw the baby bird out of the nest, they will not learn how to fly. But I think it's like a chokehold sometimes that we have on our organizations. Yeah. I didn't think that I didn't want to be involved in everything. I thought I had to be. And when I had Kelly, basically like, what are you doing? This is my job. And Kelly is now on our board, and our new operations person, Erica, said to me the other day, actually, my job is easier when you're not in the day-to-day. And I said, yay, thank you. That's great news. So, yeah, my team is incredible. I adore them, and just an amazing group of people, and that allows me to do, things like this.
Yeah, you get to go have some fun while still preaching the good word about the Set Me Free project.
Exactly.
Now, of course, you don't have to wait for the big events to be donating, but there are some events coming up. I'd like to turn the table over to you and let you know what's going on.
So every year now here's what I will say. There are copious events coming.
Yes,
we don't know what they all are, because we have an annual fundraiser. In the past, we have had Laugh Your Cash Off, Comedy for Change, Laugh Your Cash Off. We may or may not be doing that again.
Okay.
But I guarantee we will be doing some sort of fun fundraiser. We have been talking about, like, do we switch it up? Do we do different things? And the opportunity to do a silent live auction. So I will keep you in the loop on those events.
Absolutely. And of course,
they are coming.
Best way to keep along is give a follow and a like over to Set Me Free Project. That's how you stay up to date.
And we do have a newsletter that you can just sign up right there, and that gets you, not only does it help you know what's coming up as far as events go, but also if there are webinars we're doing or anything like that. And we love to do those. So if you have, a group of people that you want to get together for training, that's what we love to do. So yeah, just let us know.
So be a friend and tell a friend. Share it to a friend.
Be a friend and tell. I like that.
I mean, it's the easiest way to do it, right? Yeah. Be a friend, tell a friend, share a friend. It's easy. It's free.
That's very good. I love it.
Well, you can steal that. Okay. I think I stole it from the Pat McAfee show. So.
Okay, well, I'm taking that. Yes.
Absolutely. Now, for those of us who kind of never get to see behind the curtain and get to kind of experience some of what you do, what would you say is part of your job that you feel just it doesn't quite get that recognition or praise that you'd love it to get, but it's just not realistic?
That's a great question because we are such an out-facing organization, and so we're out there. For some reason, everybody wants to be talking to youth.
Yeah.
Which makes me question them a little bit. Like, you have to know how to talk to youth. Youth are fabulous. I adore them. But you have 30 seconds with youth, right? 30
Squirrel
seconds.
attention spans.
If you are not authentically caring about those people in front of you, just don't even bother because, yes. And also training. So we're very outward facing. So it looks like our whole work is super exciting and, I don't know if glamorous.
Glitz and glamour,
Yeah, it's like, oh, look, they're on stage. No, I would say the majority of the work that we do is that the research, the curriculum writing. We're constantly not only updating curriculum, but writing new curriculum. We're working on curriculum for new populations that need to hear this. And so I think that's the work that people don't see. A lot of people say, I want to do a curriculum. I want to create a curriculum. This is all we do. Curriculum and training, all we do. We don't do direct services. We don't do anything else. And it is a lot of work and it's hard. But because this is all we do, we can do it with excellence.
Yeah, and you do it and present it well, which makes it seem like it's all glitz and glamour. Yes. It's so easy for you guys. That's what I love about when you're so good at what you do. It comes off that easy.
Yes,
but again, to your point.
It's like figure skating, right?
It's one of the most impossibly difficult things to do. You're balancing on knives.
Yeah,
first.
True.
You're balancing on knives.
That's a good point. But the amount of practice and dedication and it's no different with, no knives are involved in the work we do. I just want to make that very clear.
Good.
But it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's hard work and it's ever-changing work. And
it can be stressful.
Very. Sometimes nonprofit work is stressful.
Yeah. Especially coming up with curriculum that has to change and is constantly evolving. I'm sure there's always some creative differences from time to time, but that's what makes a great team great is overcoming those and making it to where, okay, well, that doesn't work, but how can we make it palatable?
Right.
Yeah. So great collaboration all across the board for the Set Me Free project, which makes it seem so seamless here. But I do love that. Now, a little bit of challenges and obstacles because it's with every nonprofit. What are some that you've had to overcome either for the organization itself or for those that you're serving?
Wow. How much time do we have?
We got all the time in the world.
Awesome. It was really interesting because when we started, there were a lot of people who wanted to do what we were doing. It wound up moving very quickly for us. And again, part of that was because some of it was right spot, right time, right?
Yeah.
But some of it was just we were focused on that, and so we could do it well. And we did have some people who were trying to stop us or were trying to do it. But it was just so early on, there was just kind of some resistance even in the industry.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah. Well, the nonprofit world is very competitive.
It is. And I get it. I really do because there's only X amount of resources, right? But boy, let's be humans first, know?
Yeah. And let's work ourselves out of a job. Seriously, take me out of a job, I will go to the spa. That's what I will do. So I don't get that. But so there was a lot of resistance because I think people, for some reason, really wanted to do what we were doing. And again, even I will look at it and go, why? Why do you want to do this? Because it is hard, but I understand that It's the idea behind it. But I think we didn't have a lot of resistance from the people we served.
Which is great.
Yeah, schools got it because they saw it. Youth, and here's what I will say about the way we present. We are different. I would say we are kind of counterintuitive in everything we do. And one of the things that we do that's counterintuitive is we bring a lot of humor into the work.
Yeah.
And it's engaging. We come from a pedagogy standpoint. So we don't write the curriculum for the topic. We write it based on the learners who are going to be experiencing the topic.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so because of that, there's a lot of engagement. We ask a lot of questions. It's critical thinking. And so it is a very different way to present and to train. And because of that, it's a lot of fun. And that doesn't make sense to people.
Right.
And so we always say we take our topic very seriously, but not ourselves.
Yeah.
And I think that really makes a big difference. And so we had hardly any resistance from the people we were working with, but it was all kind of internal. And then, of course, the biggest resistance that I think you get in the nonprofit world, and this is very cliche, but funding is always an issue.
Cliche could be the term, but it's just a realism. Yeah, is every nonprofit, it's just a realism because that's just, unfortunately, they're the biggest double-edged sword.
Exactly.
We don't want them to exist, but they have to exist.
And, it was we actually did a podcast about, somebody said to us, the way that I test nonprofit work is if they are giving 80% of their funding to programming and only 20% to operations.
Interesting.
That sounds great, right? That sounds perfect. If you were to look at our budget or our P&Ls, it would actually look like the opposite because we are the program.
Right.
We are the ones writing it. We are the ones going out and training. And so it does look skewed. And yet most of it's going to programming. But you might not be able to see that because we are the programming. But the other question I would ask is, who's running the operations if you're not paying for operations?
Yeah. That means you have somebody flying by the seat of their pants somewhere.
Exactly. And we need experts in this work. And why should nonprofit people be sitting on the donated chairs?
Sure.
It's a really important job we do. Why do we lessen that? It's like teachers. Let's pay according to...
It's almost like that. Almost, I don't want to use backhanded compliment, but it's like in that same degree, almost like you start. It's decharacterizing almost, because janitors used to be in that same boat, like maintenance workers, garbage men. They were just always like, oh, okay, it's just one of those,
right?
And there's no reason.
None at all. There is no job that should be.
No.
I mean, I appreciate all the brain surgeons, believe you me.
Yeah.
But I also think that when we look at the lives that people save in the nonprofit world, and our goal is to stop human trafficking before it starts. So many lives that we don't even know that could have ended up there. And so, so funding is probably one of those biggest challenges. And I think it's a tough one to overcome, and it's consistent, but when people get it,
right.
they know how important it is.
And I feel like when people start to gravitate towards something as important as the Set Me Free project, it just starts to resonate further with them and start to echo to family members. Here's some friends getting it mentioned too now. And I think it helps it grow organically, is I think what I'm getting at there.
Right. Yes.
But I am curious. So it's not all dark roads and vines and thorns on the path here.
Right.
There's always some really, really exciting things and some just phenomenal moments. I'm curious, since you've been here since the beginning, you've been involved with it, you've seen all of the change from then to now, especially navigating COVID, probably having to deal with certain people leaving and replacing. I'm just curious, though, what is one of the best moments that you can think, or just maybe instantly comes to mind, every time you think about what the Set Me Free project has given to you personally?
There's a lot, but one of my favorite stories is of a young boy in middle school. And this was when we were going into the schools, and one of our educators was talking to them, the school, about all the things. And we always start with, you have an intrinsic value. And usually there's an activity surrounding that. And afterwards, he approached her and said, I have never heard that I have value.
Oh, man.
And so they talked a little bit about it, and then he disclosed that he was in an extremely abusive home and being sexually abused by family members. And so, of course, we have to report. And usually when we report, that's the end of it. We don't hear anything else because investigations happen, and that's all confidential. And so normally we never hear the ending, but this young guy emailed us and he said, well, I was removed from my home and it was very scary, but I am safe for the first time in my life, and that's because of you. That's why we do what we do.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love it. What a powerful thing to have happen, especially because you're absolutely right. As soon as that investigation starts, that's pretty much, you will probably most likely never hear again about that. How cool of a moment to help bring that full circle of just hey, you're doing the right thing. This is the reinforcement of what you guys are doing really at the core of Set Me Free Project too. So I love that. Now, my final question here before we get into some of the fun questions here.
Okay.
What is something you want us viewers and listeners to know more about, either when it comes to the Set Me Free Project itself or about the nonprofit industry in general?
Good question. Boy, I could talk for hours about both those things.
Right? I was like, you can take both as well. I mean, you can chime in on either one.
Well, I would say the one thing I think I would like people to know about human trafficking as a whole is that this is something that I think we often identify for other people.
Sure.
And, those people over there, there are no those people.
We are people.
We are people. And with social media and gaming, we would say, when we have access to the world has access to us.
That's a good way to put it.
And so it's widened it's largened, that's not a word. Enlarged.
Just missing one of the words.
Yeah, just we knew. Enlarged our entire world. And so when we're talking about things like that, that means that we have to recognize that not only are our kids at risk, our grandkids at risk, but it's in our homes because of social media and gaming. And we often look at human trafficking like it's a border issue.
Right.
Or it's a, shipping people overseas issue or kidnapping issue. And I think the biggest thing I would say is, no, this is in our communities, in our backyard, and wherever you live. Nebraska is a hot spot.
Yeah.
But if you live anywhere else, you're seeing it, and it's in our schools. And I think those are the things that I would just really make clear. That's why we need to prevent it. That's why every school, every business needs to know how to prevent this so that community-wide we can say, go somewhere else. And then we're there.
Yeah.
And then we can prevent it there, and so on and on. But I think those are the biggest things. This is happening to us.
Yeah. I want to issue a little challenge for the viewers at home. Why is Nebraska such a hot spot? I'll have you guys comment in the description down below because there's quite a few factors that play into that.
Absolutely.
And I'm curious to see what our listeners and viewers can come up with there.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's good.
So when you're seeing this episode, comment down below on any of the social media platforms, whether it's Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, X, any of those.
You comment.
Yes.
I will be commenting too.
Yes.
Because I'll respond. I love that.
Yeah.
I will be looking.
I will throw my answer in there as well.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty. Well, that wraps up the, we'll call them serious questions of the day.
Yes.
Now we get to have a little more fun and lightheartedness on the show to kind of help wrap things up. Friend of the show, Blake Martin with FranNet. I always love giving Blake a shout out because he's such a nice guy.
Hi, Blake.
Hi, Blake. Hope you're recovering from the 50-mile march. And spoilers for all of you watching this on Friday here. Awesome. That was last weekend. And that was an endeavor. He powered through it though. I caught up with a couple different times, and he did great, and just a another time for that story, but what he did for the donation part of things, super cool. And hopefully when we have the 50-mile march back on, we'll talk a little bit more about that.
Cool.
Yeah, so we'll talk a little more about that on another show. But today I have his lovely box of questions. So these have been asked on the show. These have not been asked on the show.
Okay.
Pull 3, and let's go back and forth and see what we got today.
Let's see.
And if they're not very good, you can pull a new one. Because there are some random ones in there that are very obscure questions.
So do I give them to you, or do I
You're
just
the one
read
reading?
them?
Yeah.
What's your proudest accomplishment? Wow.
Would you like to start that?
Yeah. I would say my proudest accomplishment is raising 3 amazing human beings. I have 3 adult children, and they're fabulous people. And along with this, we are a very close family.
I love that.
And what I love, people will say that they can see it, and I just, that is probably my biggest. That's the coolest thing ever.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's a great answer.
Yeah.
Mine's not nearly as
How
heartfelt.
about yours? Okay, well that's okay. That's okay.
You know, I barring the 50-mile march that I just took part of, that was an amazing experience overall.
Huge.
This show is probably one of my proudest accomplishments.
Oh, I love that.
I have gotten to meet so many people and businesses in Omaha that realistically, there's a good chunk of these episodes that I would have maybe never ventured into that business. I personally, maybe that business is not for me. It doesn't market towards me, but I've gotten to know the people behind it, which I'm a big people person. I love people at their core. So I always love to get to know people. So I think that's probably one of my proudest accomplishments, seeing so much of Omaha, because I grew up in the Sandhills. I mean, I'm not an Omaha native, so now I get to experience Omaha through the eyes of the people who lived here and through the business operators in here.
I love that.
Yeah.
I think that's heartfelt.
All right, we'll give it a little heartfelt. I'll give it half heartfelt there.
I like that. Okay. What fashion trend you followed was very cool but now looks ridiculous?
Oh, there's a picture of me somewhere out in the world that I've got some very bright frosted tip hair. Ooh. And I even believe there was a partial puka shell necklace at one point in time. I was very young.
I'm thinking a little Justin Bieber-ish.
No, prior to that, NSYNC style.
NSYNC.
I was in that generation.
Sure.
But okay. You know, Sugar Ray, all that. It's like, okay, you got to be cool. It's the '90s, and it was not cool. About yourself, I don't think you're old enough for parachute pants.
You would be wrong.
I'm wrong?
I didn't wear them. So, I would say, now I have to be very careful because this trend actually is coming back.
Oh, is it?
But I am going to say I do think it looks ridiculous. Now and then.
I can't wait.
The mullet.
Yes, thank you.
The mullet. And my senior picture, I have this fabulous mullet, kind of like Prince.
Yep.
Back in the day, and it's sad. And it's captured forever, right?
I know it. There's a picture of my brother that I send him very often. That it's a picture of us fishing as kids, and he's got the achy breaky heart mullet. If you've ever seen it,
sure. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Mine was not as much party in the back. It was just but that's. Mullet should go. I'm sorry. And forgive me if I've offended anybody, but
they're just not a great trend.
It's just me.
No, I'm with you.
Okay, but I like that. Ooh, this one might be tough for me. So if you could I actually do have the answer, but if you could have the front row seats to any concert, who would you like to see?
Ooh, that's a really good question.
Yeah.
I personally think I would like to see 1987, 1988 Michael Jackson. I think that would be a phenomenal concert.
Yeah.
In that same breath, I'd probably mention Def Leppard in that same era.
Okay.
I'm a big rock and roll guy. So Oh, those would be so good at concerts. I don't know if I could pick any others without rambling on and on because I'm a music nerd. But how about yourself?
I'm going to go the Beatles.
Oh, good one. Mm-hmm. Very good one.
I'm going to go the Beatles. And actually, I will tell you, Aerosmith popped into my head. I saw them in concert, and it was phenomenal, but I was not in the front row.
Fun fact, I saw Steven Tyler live in concert. This was in 2014, I want to say. So I was in Minnesota. I was at Detroit Lakes for a festival called We Fest, W-E Fest.
Okay, yeah.
And it's a country music festival for 3 days. At that point in time, I was in radio. I was in country radio, and that was just part of that lifestyle at that point. I was like, let's go check this thing out. And Steven Tyler at that time was doing country.
Wow.
He came out with a pearl white piano to open the show and played a piano version of Dream On.
He is so talented.
It was phenomenal. The entire crowd was just pin drop silent.
Yeah.
For him to do that. It was
That's amazing. Okay, so I do have one more because I can't let this one go without mentioning Queen.
Oh, Freddie Mercury,
That man. Talk about talent. I would have loved to been in the front row.
That vocal range of his, unbelievable, and I still believe is unmatched at this point in time. Truly. I don't think anybody's ever hit the same. I think Brendan Urie from Panic at the Disco.
Okay.
I think he has a close range, but they've measured people's vocal ranges, and nobody's hit quite as far as he could stretch.
Do you know what he credits that to? He had extra teeth.
Oh, that because it was a big overbite.
And he never had them removed because he was afraid it would affect his singing voice.
He could have been totally right too.
I know. Who knows?
Yeah. What an interesting guy. First of all, just
truly
one of those. If you could sit down with somebody and just ask him a couple questions.
Yeah. Fascinating.
Unbelievable answers I'm sure you'd get from that guy.
Crazy talent.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Now, we'll keep moving. Great questions. We haven't had that.
And I just picked those.
I know.
1, 2, 3, but
Yeah, triple hit questions that were all great. Those were good. So keeping the show moving here, I'd love to ask this question as if I'm coming in from out of town. I haven't been to Omaha before, and I'm talking to you about it. You've got to work today. So while you're working, what's your Mount Rushmore that I should come check out?
I'm so bad at this.
It's okay because I kind of pose this because then it can be like events, it can be a place, it could be a restaurant.
Okay, I'm a big... I don't even know if I'm a foodie. I just like to eat.
I love food.
Right? Yeah. So I would say that you have to go downtown and you have to check out... what is the name of it? It starts with an N, and it's one of my favorite Italian restaurants right on the corner. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do. Oh, no.
Nolli's, although that is very good. Nettie, is it? No, not Nettie's. That's Mexican, also very good.
Also delicious. Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a complete blank. I can see their sign.
Yes.
Oh no, I feel so bad.
We go there all the time.
Don't hate us if you're watching.
No, it's one of my favorite restaurants.
I'm gonna have editor Matt put in a picture of what we're talking about.
Please do. And then I would say go from there to and if my family were listening, they'd be screaming the name at me because
we're gonna see it in the comments.
Yeah, I love it. It's so good. It's Italian. They have amazing ravioli. You can sit outside. It's a very small place, but it's perfect. Yummy. So I'd go there. And then I would go over to Hollywood Candy.
Ooh, nice.
And, grab all that. And then I would go to Ted and Wally's.
I love Ted and Wally's.
Yeah.
Fun fact, they're coming on the show.
Oh, very exciting.
Spoilers for all of you watching out there.
That's super exciting.
Yes, after so much of trying to just make it work and trying to line up times right, we finally have landed on a good day.
Okay, I'm kind of fangirling on that one.
I'm fanboying, don't worry, because their lemon ice cream, they have like 5 different flavors. I don't know exactly or remember exactly which one it is. Their lemon ice cream is phenomenal because it's the only actual ice cream that's lemon. Not just a gelato, not a sorbet. They do an actual lemon ice cream, and it's so good. Oh. I'm a big citrus guy, if you couldn't tell. But... Ted and Wally's all-time favorite.
Big fan of them. So that would be this is what you need to do. Go to those those places.
I love it. I actually just treated my girlfriend to Ted and Wally's for the first time.
Oh,
She had
is
never
she not
been
from here?
Nope,
or-
she was over in the Lincoln area in small town before that. So
Okay.
treated her over to Ted and Wally's, and she loved it.
Lincoln had 10 Wally's.
I don't think she has ever heard of it.
Oh my god.
So it was one of those of like, you sheltered child.
Oh, that's sad. It's
Yeah, like, you're
sad.
so sheltered.
Yeah, some people just
Yeah.
don't have what they need.
And ever since then, it's like, hey, you want to go get Ted and Wally's? I'm like, I mean, we can.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
So
that sounds
yeah,
great.
super exciting. We're going to be getting them on the show.
That is
I'm so
exciting.
excited.
Good for you.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Now, can't keep you here forever.
What?
As much as I'd love to, because we're having a
man.
lot of fun on today's
Okay.
show.
All right.
I think our viewers would sit there and be like, all right, he's like kept her.
It's finished.
Is she getting held captive here?
trafficking, or-
I know, right?
It's like labor trafficking happening here. I'm gonna have a sign that says, "Help me."
I love it. My very final question here for you, Stephanie. What is something here in Omaha that you wish either more people knew about or supported more?
I would say Omaha.
Very
to
good
be
point.
totally honest with
Yeah.
you, I'm originally from the Chicago area.
Okay.
And I've got a lot of family in other areas. And when we talk about Omaha, sometimes Omaha, I mean, what's there to do there? What's not there to do here? I love Omaha. I think it's there's a lot of amazing culture. I have a professional dancer in New York and grew up in dance here, and there's amazing musical theater. I've got 3 of us are musical theater people, and so there's just amazing culture, and the food is the restaurants are incredible, and so I think that there's just a lot of great things to do here, and it's a great city.
I think you hit on that. Our arts and music, I don't think get enough credit for what they do. We have so many different art museums and display areas on top of great orchestral performances, beautifully done. So definitely worth checking out if you're ever in the area.
Oh yeah, Omaha's a great city. And I was in Tampa not that long ago. Actually, it was a while ago, but it doesn't matter.
It wasn't that long ago in memory.
Right. But Tampa reminded me of Omaha.
Really?
Yeah, it was a lot of, especially in the old markets, and there was just a lot of similarities outside of the weather. The weather wasn't so much as similar, but
fair enough.
It was, I mean, we have a great city.
Yeah, I love our city.
Yeah.
And I think more people are starting to recognize it too, so which is a good thing.
I agree.
Steph, that does conclude our day today,
That was a
unfortunately.
blast.
I'm so glad you had some fun.
I did.
Of course. Now, of course, for you viewers, we had the distinct pleasure to sit down with our one and only Stephanie Olson, Executive Director for the Set Me Free Project. Before we cut you free today, is there anything else you'd like to leave us off with?
Check us out. Please let us know if you need anything. And I love this. I would, now I'm going to have you on our podcast. How's that sound?
Yes. I like it.
Let's do that. Okay.
Be a friend, tell a friend, share this episode, comment down below your answers as to why Nebraska is such a hot spot for human trafficking.
Yes.
We'll see you in those comments. And of course, we're going to see you next time right here on the UIA Trusted Partners Podcast.